But let me get my guest up in here really quick, all right? So there we go. There's Nat right there. Boom. Let me invite him up in here to join. Hey, wait. That's the comment section. Hey, Queen. Hey, Roland. There we go. View request. Go, Nat. Let's, yes. Now we're just waiting on Rich. So let's see where he at. Where do. Hey, how you doing? Doing good. Can't complain. I see Rich right there. So we're gonna get this show on the road. Yes.
Let's go.
Okay, I waved at him. Let me see. Okay, say hi.
Hi.
Okay.
Hi.
This is not time to show everybody your toys. Where is Rich? I see him. I see him right there. I waved at him. I can't invite him to join. Come on, sir. Oh, wait. Let me see. I see the button right there. Let me see. Invite, send request. Let's go. All right, Tia, you can't shake my table, okay? Let me see. We are waiting on a person, but T-John, all right. You promised me you were going to be listening, okay? Okay, thank you. Hey, what's up? Okay, I need a little book here. Let me just sit this up just a little bit more. Oh, no, we ain't having trouble. We all right here. Ain't no trouble here. Hey, y'all. How y'all doing? So my name is... Oh, yeah. Hey, y'all. My name is Bernadette Henry of Making Fun NYC, where I make jump rope and exercise as a whole more fun and exciting for anyone looking to live a healthy and active lifestyle. I'm all about the jump rope, right? And I'm here with the upgrade guys, Rich and Nat. Y'all can introduce yourselves, and we're going to get this show on the road. Let's go.
Hey, before we get started, oh man, Nat, you got way too comfortable. You got white feet on. Can I say white feet are nowadays? No, that's wrong. Like, it's wrong in all types of... My tank tops, Rich. My A shirts. No, he out here living his best LA life. You know what I'm saying? When you feel that LA sunshine, oh my God, that LA vibe. You got house shoes. And I got flip flops on. You're supposed to have the socks. Swap still closed down.
I got no flip flops and socks too, y'all.
He out there living his best life. So, well, I tell you, let that boy out of the Bay Area. He's just doing it all up. I got a whole Southern California wardrobe.
It never rains. Hey,
the sun glistening off his head, just shining.
You want to sign you shining.
Oh, we lit today.
Yeah, we lit. Energy.
I had my second cup of coffee, so I'm ready.
That's good.
What are we talking about?
Well, y'all got to introduce yourselves. So you have to talk about his outfit.
Introductions. We just went in. I particularly like rap songs that just go straight in instead of like wait until you listen to the beat for like a whole minute before and they like say it,
Dr. Dre.
Or they like mumbling or and I get those goosebumps every time. Like just go in. We did a skit before it. See, we did a skit before the intro.
See,
okay, so introductions. I'm Coach RT3 from the Upgrade Guys, based here in San Francisco, California. It's been a minute since I've been out to NYC, but Bernadette and I have known each other for some years. Now I think it's been about 3 or 4 years actually. We just been pumping. Siri want to talk to me and everything.
Hey, Siri.
Siri over here tripping. She's like, I didn't get that. I'm confused. We had Bernadette on the podcast, Upgrade This Shit podcast, that's coming out in this summer in June. You might see a few clips on my page. But in that conversation, we explored the idea of the needs for like jump rope, and the stuff that we do, which is mobility and preparation and strength and conditioning stuff. So we're excited to wrap with Bernadette and all of you guys to let you know a little bit about what we're doing. I won't take nearly that damn long. No, but you know what? So here's the thing. I had to get it down because now you're right. Oh, here we go. Oh, here we go. I needed to put my chips in now on the table. Right. Slide my chips down. Put the chips on the table. Put the chips on the table. Because I know I would. They my chips now. Now they my chips now. My chips now. I wasn't gonna get a chance. I'm not one of the upgrade guys. I'm not one of the upgrade guys. I'm the nice one. And the funny one. I mainly specialize in proving people wrong. Usually orthopedic surgeons or physical therapists. I work mainly with people with long-standing injury and pain or performance issues who have been everywhere else to solve their problem or find freedom back in their body in their meat suit. And I'm the last person they see. And we are coming out with a jump rope program because Bernadette is dope as hell, and as you can tell, we got good energy. So we're just gonna keep rocking that shit and bring it to the people.
Right.
Let's go.
And y'all see the title of this, Your Janky Ass Needs to Still Jump. Okay, y'all, we have to title it that because a lot of people, all the time, whether it's on comments, whether it's in the inbox, whether it's wherever, people always like, oh my gosh, I can't jump because I have bad knees, right? And that statement is just so blanketed. Like, what is bad knees, right? If I tell you what's wrong with me, I can consider that bad knees, right? Or if you have this person, you can say that. And just like I always, and let me just give you a disclaimer. We are not doctors, physical therapists, whatever y'all want to call it. So this is not a place to substitute your medical care if you do have some issues, okay? Put that disclaimer out there. However, right, if you can run and jog, you can jump rope, okay? Because jumping rope can be safer than running and jogging, right? And we're just here to tell you that our bodies, whether you play sports, whether you just work out, whatever you do in your life, there's always going to be wear and tear on your body, right? And at the level that you choose to perform, it's just what you do when you prep or recover from said activity. Okay, so you may think just you having a little limp or a little pain is considered a bad knee. But have you explored what is causing that? Are you stretching your calves? Are you stretching before you work out? Are you trying to do what you see everybody on the internet do? Like, what are you doing and how are you preparing for this activity, right? And this is why I am teaming up with the Upgrade guys, because this is their specialty. They help people with issues. You heard Nat say it in his introduction, help people with issues navigate and do what they do, okay? And you also got to remember, you know your body best, right? And you have to make the changes accordingly, right? Oh, thank you for the badge, Ari. So you do what you do, and you make those changes accordingly. So let's go.
Right. I have to, go ahead. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead. No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
But you put your. I was just gonna say, I didn't know you could do the bash thing in a group thing. I'm about to do the bash thing. I'm not, next time we do a group thing.
Make your coins, man. Make your coins.
Hey, y'all better put some badges on Bernadette's name. Put some badges on Bernadette's shit. Put some respect on my name. Put some respect on it. Right, yeah, so I'll give the same disclaimer. I'm not a doctor or a physical therapist or anything like that. And it's always best to see somebody in person and get your specific issue checked out to figure out what it is that you need by a qualified professional. That being said, a lot of times, just think about what Bernadette said about the blanket term of bad knees. Like, what does bad knees mean? Like, we have to define that, right? Because a bad knee for me is a different thing for her and a different thing for Rich. So depending on what your issue is, it's the thing that you need to change that. It's going to be different for each person. So just saying that you have a bad knee doesn't give anybody enough information to do anything. So if we're talking about something or we're discussing something, our goal should be, either for does that person need to be heard? That's cool. But outside of that, we need to look for a solution, right? What we do is we look for a solution. So if you're saying that, or you're talking about your bad knee and we're looking for a solution, I need to know, what is a bad knee? What is your bad knee? When you say bad knee, what does that mean? And just to take it further, when we hear bad knee, bad shoulder, bad anything, what Rich and I think is that's a lack of freedom, right? That's a lack of freedom because you are now restricted from doing something you want to do. as that pain is either stopping you or greatly affecting you when you do it. Whether that be put your jacket on, reach back in your car, jump rope, run, or anything else. So bad knee is not enough. We need to go further than that. And then that's why assessment is important, and having an idea of like where you're at before the activity, where you're at after the activity, to know how much what you need to do to mitigate the stress that you just received, right? Over the long term. Are you done? Yeah. For now. For now. Put my chips back on the table. Okay. Okay. Now that you're done. No, so so for real, bad knees, like that's such a blanket statement, and like the real question is like, what do you mean by that, right? What is it that's giving you pain symptoms, and what exactly is the pain that you're experiencing, and what aggravates it, what makes it worse? You have to ask lots and lots of questions to get to the root of it. How long has it been in this situation, right? How many people have you seen for this so-called bad, knee situation? And then, like, does it mean like my knee doesn't bend? Does it mean that like, if I'm running, does it hurt when I'm running? Does it hurt after I'm running? Like what, you have to ask all these questions and find out, okay, what are the things that are driving it? And then, either if that's the case, then we need to, maybe back off of those things for a while. But also, like, what are you doing to remedy the situation? That's one of the big things. Is like, are you seeing a practitioner? Are you seeing somebody, to help you solve that issue? Or are you just sitting there like, well, I'm just gonna stop doing whatever I'm doing and just sit here on the couch because I have bad knees.
Right. And well, I think Nat frozen. Okay, he's back. All right. And the thing about it is a lot of people have this notion that pain. Okay. A lot of people have this notion that pain is like a job well done, or oh my gosh, I'm in so much pain. I got a good workout today, boy, because my shoulders hurt, my arm hurt. No, pain is an indication that something is going on with your body, right? So you have to check that out. Now, when you work out, of course, you're going to be sore. You're going to, feel something, especially depending on how you work, how much weight you lifted, or how you're pushing yourself. If you haven't done X, Y, and Z in a long time, you're going to feel something, right? So you have to know that when you do start to feel the pain, it's a sign. Go check it out. Go see what's wrong and have that rectified so that you can continue to do the things that you need to do and that you want to do.
Yeah. The other thing that I think is important for people to understand, when it comes to, so one of the reasons why we decided to put together this, jump rope, not only skills for jump roping, which like you're very good at, which is, I think that's going to be incredibly valuable to people, but understanding that there are prerequisites to beginning any program, right? Like I think when people put disclaimers in front of any sort of activity or training or whatnot, it's usually saying like you should either get some sort of clearance, which I don't think anybody ever does. But also, I think what tends to happen is that people never you don't have the tools to self-assess, and you haven't been assessed by someone else, and then you don't have the tools to self-assess. So what happens is most people just start. It's kind of like the conversation we had, in our podcast where we're talking about like the pandemic. People just started doing stuff like, oh shit, I want to start running, and then like every day they're like, so I ran for every day, throughout the pandemic because I was, gaining weight and I was doing this. So first of all, you were gaining weight. So now you're carrying around more weight than you were before, right? And then you start running, right? So your body is not prepared to take on the load that you are now placing upon it. It'd be different if you gradually moved into that and you progressively loaded over time. But most people don't have an idea of like how far, how long, how much, the right, what shoes. They just run out with the shoes that they were on. Like they wanted, oh, I heard barefoot running was cool. Like I should start doing it, doing that. Like you realize this is concrete, right? Like we're talking about like, a very hard surface, and so you need some absorption. If you're gonna start doing anything, barefoot, you might want to start on some grass or some sand or something that's below the surface. So I think when we look at like assessment of ourselves, giving you the tools to be able to assess prerequisites you need for the activity, and then thinking about preparation for the activity. So what do you need to do to prep, and then thinking about recovery. What's your restorative process after you've done the thing? And I think a lot of people don't take those things into account. They just like, oh, I want to do this skill for whatever reason. And they don't think of it as an athletic endeavor, but it truly is. And the pros have people around them to help guide them through, pre and post, activity programs.
Yeah, because if you look at your favorite athlete, some of them have at least 4 or 5 injuries going on at the same time, but it doesn't stop them from being great, right? And when you know the things that's going on with your body, you can work around that, So like whatever things I have, I know, okay, I can do this, but maybe I can't do this. Or if I can't do this, I can substitute it with this. So it's really, being assessed and knowing what's going to work and what's not going to work.
Right. And I think we just saw, I had a question that said, so recovery time is needed onto Dragons. So we can say recovery time, we can also say recovery efforts, right? Sometimes I think when people say, I need time to recover, they just rest or they just sit on the couch or something. But if you're recovering, you should still be moving, right? It should be just a very, very low intensity. Your body doesn't like to be still or like be on the couch for a long time. And in terms of why we think about time, because time is one way that we can measure frequency, right? And when we're training, we can adjust frequency or we can adjust intensity to make the input appropriate for the person. And so recovery time is something that you got to keep in consideration when you're forming your volume or your frequency ratios, and it's got to be part of the thing. Yeah, recovery can really be like Nat said. I think people think of recovery like, oh, he laying up in the hospital bed recovering from he just got in a 5-car pile up, legs up in a cast, like the old cartoons, like one leg up, arm up on the other thing. They think in recovery, like, oh shit, I need to recover from this, and it's like, no, like you like that, like people don't understand like how detrimental that immobilization is, right? Like when you get into that degree of like catastrophic injury, and you have to remain like in stillness for such a long period of time, it's actually as detrimental as the thing that happened to you, if not more, because you don't get to move that stuff for long periods of time, right? Or the stuff around it for long periods of time. And we know that like the healing process like takes time, right? Like to mend, to some degree, certain things have to, be immobilized. But when we think of like the immobilization of our body and the unintended immobilizations that we do to ourselves on a daily basis, whether it be sitting, for dinner, sitting, on the couch watching, the game, sitting in the car, like that is like immobilization, like all the time, like 24/7, right? So we're doing this to ourselves for hours on end. We, when we sleep, we're immobile for the most part, but most people move around when they sleep, right? Most people move to some degree, change their position, and stuff like that, right? So I think the important thing is we understand that like your body craves movement, and in order to be healthy, you must move. And so recovery also means, moving those tissues around, moving those joints through their fullest range of motion that you have available. So after I've done like a heavy bench press day, or I've done, a heavy leg day, like most people know that the next day, if you sat and did nothing, everything would suddenly feel like tight and sore. And that first time you get up out of the chair, after you lifted, you did squats the day before, and then you went to work the next day and you sat in the chair all, half the day. And then by noon, you get up and you're like, oh, oh, my hamstrings, oh, my quads, because you haven't moved for that period of time. And your body was saying, like, I need you to keep moving this stuff. I need, like, lightly, like, and so it gives your body an opportunity to adapt. It gives you a chance to push good fluids into your joint, push negative, the debris and all the damaged stuff and damaged cells, push that out of the joints. That's the only way we can do that as adults, is to actually move. Yeah, I think that's a good point in terms of like the fluid thing, right? People, well, it's sort of intuitive to think that, oh, if I work hard, I should rest the thing after, right? And also, most people from when I have conversations with people that I've trained, they kind of think that like, oh, well, blood running through your system is like it accounts for like fluid exchange in tissues, right? And it's not the same thing. So like it's important to understand that like we get fluid into especially the deepest layers of our joints by moving at the end ranges in a rotational manner. Because the fluid has to be diffused from the muscle to that tissue, right? Like when the muscle moves, it pushes that tissue into the deepest layers of the joint. Because those deepest layers, they don't have blood flow, they don't have vascularity. So in order for us to get good fluid into that joint, we need to be moving at our outer ranges in a rotational manner, or at least really testing those outer ranges so that the diffusion process can take place. So, and add to that, remember, like if you were to stress the tissue and like there are micro tears, and the stress makes the tissue strong coming back. If you don't move through a full range of motion with that tissue, the new cells that are coming online are adapting to you staying in that position, right? Add to that the stress, it needs to heal from stress, the training input you just gave it. So even though it seems counterintuitive, you actually like, let's say I did I use Rich's example where he was using a bench press. Let's say I did a heavy bench press day. I did a lot of repetitions on bench press day. That next day, most people who train people say, "Oh, you can't do any chest workout because you're going to like overtrain, right?" But if we think about this critically, we say, "Okay, I really stressed this tissue previously, and then now recover." Then how can I do that? Is it me just laying there? No, because if I actually do that same motion that is a bench press, or let's say like a 10 to 15 pound weight, that's not necessarily adding a training input that's going to like make you overtrain if you bench press like 235 or 255 or whatever significant amount of weight, right? Because that increment is nothing. But what you are doing is you're still giving your brain the input of, hey, I'm controlling this range of motion. I'm being careful about it. I'm exploring it, and I have a little bit of load just so that it's a tool for me to connect with, right? And like that would help us use like the motion we just did and get those tissues to that place and open up that range to motion again, because it's going to want to come back with the tearing, right, of the stress of the training. So you want to carefully be elongating that, or taking it back into a position of stress where it's going to be most vulnerable, so that those things that are coming back, they form as tissue that is comfortable being there. They form as tissue that is used to being there. Your brain recognizes still being there. So using that range of motion is still important. And in terms of like, just because you did something one day doesn't mean that you can't do the same motion the next day to use this recovery process. The intention matters and the execution matters.
Exactly. And so, going back to the title with, your janky ass needs to still jump, right? There are no excuses, especially if there isn't a medical reason, because at the end of the day, if you're working out, you're playing sports, you're doing whatever you do, our bodies are meant for it all, okay? And we're going to go through this process of wear and tear. So as we're participating and we're, specifically talking about, jump rope, you just have to do the things that's going to have you do it safe, right? So the general precautions that I usually give is wear the right shoes, which provides, cushion and support. Jump on the right surface, which can be a wood floor or a rubber track turf. Wear compression socks, which will help with faster recovery time and help with your blood flow. Only jump high enough to play the rope. Jump on your toes only. Stretch like before and after. Warm up. Don't do too much too soon. And the list can go on and on and on, right? But also there's other things that you can do before you even start this activity, right? A lot of people are concerned about knees, but sometimes too, not stretching can cause knee pain, right? not having your muscles surrounding your knees being strong, such as like your quads, your hams, your glutes, and your quads, because already, like that not being done, that helps to support your knees. So there's just so many different things that you want to do. And then the upgrade guys, they have, additional, activities and things that you can do that will support in that process. So you're not just getting into a program that's going to say, hey, go ahead, here's your jump rope program, go do it. And peace be unto you. No, we're giving you the whole 9 yards. And this is a thing that has frustrated me online, is that jump rope is now this new craze, right? As soon as I put like 10 minutes of jump rope is equivalent to a 30-minute jog on a treadmill, everybody's running out and they're getting a rope and they're like, oh, I want to do this and I want to do that, right? And I see challenges popping up left and right every single day, right? But when the people start the challenge, there's no structure. Nobody's teaching you how to do it. Nobody's teaching you how to be safe. And it just boggles me when I look at these people and their ropes are long. We have women that are like 50 and 60 jumping on concrete. Like, it's just like, oh my gosh, like this is a recipe for disaster. Why aren't these people helping, right? Because it's, really important. So when I do challenges and conduct classes and things like that, my thing is safety first, okay? Especially me knowing that a lot of these people are maybe in their 30s and their 40s and their 50s, and I haven't had a person complain yet, right? Because I'm giving them, kind of precautionary measures, if they follow, that will help them be safe. And this is what we are doing. We're providing something for you, but not only are we providing this great, phenomenal exercise, but we're providing you with the befores and the afters so that you can kind of live happily after you do this amazing activity.
Right. Yeah. Also, I think what's important to note is that this is about building self-awareness. This is about building awareness of your body. So I think one of the biggest components of this program is that we have the opportunity to help you understand, like, what should my ankle and feet and knees be doing? Like, what makes a knee? And I think these are important things that I think people don't ever take into account. Like, we're never taught this growing up as kids. We're never taught this at any point in school, like what our bodies are supposed to be capable of doing. Like, what is our joint? Like, what is our shoulder joint supposed to do? Like, nobody ever, explains this to us. And you take an anatomy class, it's just telling you about the joints. They're not telling you, like, what is the thing supposed to actually do? Like, what makes a healthy joint? And then we wonder why at 30, 40 years old, they're like, yeah, well, it might be arthritis, it might be this, it might be that. It's like, no, you just didn't move your shit. Like, straight up. Like, we need people to understand that loading is important. Progressive loading is important. Tissue health is related to not only our movement, but loading that tissue. Moving that tissue through ranges, but also loading that tissue. And, that's the only way we've been able to stimulate and change our body and help our body adapt, right? We have to, in order to build more muscle, what do? We load the joint. You get some barbells, you get some dumbbells, whatever the case is, and you load the joint. Or you load the tissues. You have all these people say, well, in order to combat what is it? Why am I completely slipping? Osteoarthritis, osteoporosis. In order to combat those things, we need to load our bones, right? Simplest thing. That's the only way we adapt, right? Like, you want strong teeth? Chew on some stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, people, like, these are basic ways in which we build, density of our bones. Density and strength is to actually move our stuff and move it against resistance. That's it. That's how the body works. And so understanding the directionality of joint movements, understanding how to train different directions of tissue, different lines of tissue, in order to achieve the desired results we want, is super important. And building that awareness is super important because once we have the awareness, you know, we can do whatever we want to do with our body.
Exactly.
I'm gonna Ari join Ariana. Okay, Ariana, DM me. I have something. So she's saying something about flat feet. This person's saying something about flat feet. Technically, my feet are flat, but yeah, DM me and we can talk. I'll shoot you something that I've already got set up for that you can try out and help you understand. And it actually goes back to getting awareness back in your foot. But in terms of like goods being flat or whatever, this is another thing. Anything that we have deemed suboptimal because of like a structural viewing like flat feet or like knee valgus or any of those things. Remember, like some human was trying to figure out, or some human was trying to like decide like what a problem was, and had to like choose from what they perceive as being, what humans are made for, the way they're made. So, like, that doesn't necessarily always mean anything. I think we always get worried when somebody says, like, oh, you have arthritis in your knee, or you have this condition, or you have that condition, or you have a torn this, or a strained or sprained that. Like, all these things, that, like, they are completely normal in nature to some degree, right? Like, you think people didn't fall out of trees? You think people didn't get bit by animals? You think people didn't, like, step on, like, rocks that jam through their foot? They didn't sprain their ankle? Like, do we have physical therapists or chiropractors or doctors, like, 2,000 years ago? Like, so did they have to stop moving? Did they have to, like, not live? Did they have to, like, not hunt? Or, like, did they not sleep on the floor? Did they get to bed? Oh, wait, they didn't have... You see what I'm saying? So, like, all these things that we worried about, like, a lot of that, like, like, I know it sounds weird, like, oh, shit, I tore my pec. Like, how serious is that? I tore my pec, right? And, like, so, like, and this is by no means me saying, hey, if you have something going on, like, it's a non-issue. What I'm saying is, like, the human body is so adaptable, and it's just things that are so amazing that we still can't understand. So, like, we should never start from a place thinking about like what's the limitation. I mean, we need some of the limitation is, but not like, oh, well, I can do this because I can't do this. But we can think of it as like, well, how much might be capable if I think about these things that are currently limiting me? Right.
Don't let your
that's a risk I do for a living. So
don't let your limitations limit you. And I live by that, because I can tell people all these things that I had, like, I got hit by a car when I was 8 years old. One hip is higher than the other. One leg is longer, shorter than the other. Like I have quote unquote knee problems. Like all of these different things that's going on. But when you look at me doing what I do, it necessarily doesn't stop me. Like once I sit there and tell people, okay, this is going on and that is going on and this is going on, they're like, really? Really? And I'm like, yeah, but you have to work around, and this is kind of what I said earlier, you have to work around these things, right? Know what's going on and then identify the solution and move on with your life.
Right? Yeah. And the other thing about flat feet, like, go Google
the right shoe.
Go Google Usain Bolt feet. Just go Google it. Yeah. Usain, right? He the fastest man on the planet. Yep. I ain't never seen feet flatter than Usain Bolt's feet. Them feet are flat as all get out. Like, so the idea that you can't do something because of flat feet is not really a thing. Now, I think the thing that we have to look at when we're talking about our feet, once again, comes back to like, are the joints doing what they're designed to do? Right? So, do your toes do what they're supposed to be doing? Does your big toe do what it's supposed to be doing? Do you have good ankle inversion, eversion? Do you have good mid-foot rotation? Like all these things are going to be important. So whether you have flat feet or not, we want to optimize the abilities of your joints, of the joints involved, and the feet have a lot of joints. So, I think it's just such a blanket statement, and it's such a, like from a medical space. And once again, we're not doctors, right? But from a medical standpoint, it's fucking lazy to just tell somebody, oh, it's because you have flat feet. It's just fucking lazy. Like, assess the person in front of you. You know what I'm saying? That's the thing that just and we work around practitioners and our colleagues and practitioners both on social media and within the spaces that we work in. I'm in a physical therapy clinic right now. This is the space that we work within. We have people that assess the people in front of them. They don't just come out and be like, "Oh, so you said your feet were hurting. Yeah, your feet are flat. So you have no arch there." Well, shit, like somebody else had a perfectly, quote unquote, good arch. Also having the same, presenting similar issues, right? I was just in the Nike outlet this past weekend. And I listened to this lady say, "Oh my God, which shoe in here would be good because I have shin splints, and my shins always hurt when I'm running. I have shin splints." And I'm standing there, and I'm like, "What is this dude gonna say?" We're in Nike outlet, right? This is not the person who's supposed to be asking about your damn shin splints or whatever you got going on.
A shoe will fix your body. A shoe will fix your body.
Shin splints.
Think about that.
The pain or the thing that people appreciate shin splints, tibialis pain or whatever. Like a part of me wanted to interject and be like, "Have you had your feet assessed? Have you had your ankle looked at? Have you had your knees assessed? Like, have you had any of that looked at? Because whatever shoe you buy is not going to really matter. And if you're in here looking for Nike shoes to help with your shin splints, you're in the wrong store.
Right.
You're in the wrong store. And this professional dude here knows nothing about shoes or feet. He's
got a 10-minute training.
He's trying to sell shoes. Yeah, so let me address Ari really quick, right, Ari? So, in transparency, I go to physical therapy, right? Because I have the arthritis and torn meniscus and all that stuff going on, right? Plus, my health insurance pays for me to go to physical therapy. Why not get away from home for a few hours? So, and she talked about her shots. So I think last year I got one because of the pain before I found out all of this stuff was going on. And then because I was in pain, and then I got one earlier this year. So what I did is I ended up doing PRP therapy, and that helped a great deal. So since getting PRP therapy, I haven't gotten any more, shots because of pain, but I do now go more, to physical therapy more aggressively, and then at home doing the things that I need to do. So you necessarily probably don't have to do the steroid shots. And my physical therapists as doctors, none of them have ever told me to stop jumping, right? That's a shame that the doctor told you to stop. I have never been told to stop jumping at all, right? Because like I said, our body is meant to jump or do whatever we need to do. And it's a recovery tool. Like I even went to physical therapy today, and the man was like, "Well, so how's the jumping going?" Right? But they have never said stop jumping, so and like I said, going back to the program that we're putting together, we are doing this so that you can, go to your full potential of whatever it is that you have to do. Because at the end of the day, we cannot stop moving. Our bodies are made to move. And just think of the mental and emotional part of it. Like, I would be devastated if I had to stop jumping rope. Just like I know you would be devastated if you had to stop dancing, right? So you have to figure out what the situation is, and then you can come over and work, with us or the upgrade guys, and they have a lot of functional exercises to work with the feet. Matter of fact, go to the page. They did something with the big toe. I was like, what do I need to know about the big toe? But I know that big toe is important because I did the whole bunion situation, so I know.
Straight up, I got a DM first.
It is funny because I had a small bunion years ago, right? But I was doing a push-up contest while, whatever. But I was doing a push-up contest, and I was bang right on my foot, and it made the bunion worse. And I started limping. I was like, oh snap, this big toe really important.
Yeah, the big toe is of the utmost importance. But we got it. Rich and I gotta jump on.
All right.
At 3 o'clock. But Ariana, Michael,
definitely reach out to us.
Yeah, DM me. I got you. Okay.
So make sure you follow us all and hit the link in the bio. Listen, whose bio? Upgrade Guys, Nat Rich, somebody.
Yeah.
Okay, so go to the link in the bio and Upgrade Guys. We're going to have our program that's coming out in mid-June. So
it's about to be in all our links. So about to be in all our links. Don't worry.
You're on the VIP list now, and you'll get an email when the early pre-registration is going or pre-sale happens. But also like we'll have the links once we have the course landing page up and ready to go. We'll have the links for you guys all in our bio. So don't worry about that. And thanks for watching.
Appreciate y'all.
all right, thank you everybody. Bye. All right, see ya.
All right, y'all. Thanks for tuning in.
All right. Hey, what's up, y'all? So that is it for the live that I just did with the Upgrade Guys. We are doing a jump rope and mobility course together. So a lot of people always talk about jump rope being bad for the knees and this, that, and the third, and blah, 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 blah. But we're gonna help you out. So be on the lookout on Instagram, on Facebook and YouTube. There is a number for you to text me, Upgrade 2718-504-2192. And once I get the link and everything, I will give that to you. Our pre-sale start on the 31st, and then the program starts mid-June. So I look forward to seeing you there, and I'll talk to you soon. All right. Any questions on TikTok, Facebook, or YouTube? Any questions? All right, no questions. I'll see y'all later. Peace out.